Hello everybody, I'm Charlotte from Plaza Jewellery and welcome to Showcase. I'm going to be talking to you today about alternative engagement rings. Elizabeth Taylor once said, "We're only the custodians of our jewellery," and that is so true. It lives longer than we do, it lives years into the future, and pieces from the past are still going now. And if you'd like to have a piece of history on your finger, then what better than to have a vintage or antique ring? And there are so many styles to choose from, and I'd just like to show you some of them today, because so many people think that the big four engagement rings, ruby, sapphire, emerald, diamond, are the only things to have. And there are so many more different stones and different styles and different eras. And some of my colleagues here specialise in one era or another, or different types of jewellery. And I think throughout Showcase, you'll be able to see lots and lots of different rings, nearly all of them antique or vintage, and some more contemporary. So the first one I have to show you, because I don't have the jewellery here, but we can look at it on the iPad, and hopefully the camera will come in close. Now this is a 1950s piece. This is for a girl who wants a lot of sparkle on her hand. It's a cluster, slightly unusual one with different shapes. It's not a classic cluster, but it's a nice fun piece and dates from the 1950s. This would look good with a yellow engagement, yellow wedding ring, yellow wedding band, or a platinum one. So that is the first style. So we move on and we come to the three stone. Now this one is a typical three stone ring. This is a fairly small one, but this is you can see the vague outline of platinum and 18 karat. So this is a nice early one from the turn of the last century, around about maybe 1915 to 1920, the three stone diamond ring. And that is as popular today as it ever was. We still love them. We have bigger ones and smaller ones. Some people like them in platinum, some people like them with big diamonds, but this one is a nice antique one. So let's see what comes up next. Jumping straight to a biggie. Well, of course, the classic solitaire. So yes, we have vintage solitaires too. We as in antique jewellery. And this one, well, this is from one of the best. This one happens to be Cartier. So a vintage Cartier piece, why not? A lot less than buying a new one, a huge difference in price. So that's the classic solitaire that most people think of as an engagement ring. So yes, a vintage one of those, a pre-owned one. You're saving a huge amount of money from buying new. If you're going to buy new in a jeweller's shop, the price is vastly different to what anybody here on the Showcase will have for you. So how about a coloured diamond? Now this is a GIA certified coloured diamond. Look at the colour of that. It's a champagne brown colour. Why not have a coloured diamond as an engagement ring? It has two graduated baguettes. It's a beautiful emerald cut diamond. That would make a lovely engagement ring. And diamonds come in all different colours. Of course they do. But why not think about having a coloured diamond one? It doesn't have to be white. You could go for a coloured diamond engagement ring, maybe a pale pink. They're very expensive, but that would be lovely. So you don't have to just have white. Or a showstopper. Now who wouldn't like a show-stopping engagement ring? This one is a biggie. This is the classic cluster, and obviously these come in all different shapes and sizes, and these have been around for 200 years. You could have a contemporary one that is pre-owned, a 1950s, a 20s, a Victorian, going back and forward. Any era you like, you can have old cut diamonds or brilliant cut diamonds, all sorts. So that's a choice as well. How about a coloured sapphire? Yellow sapphire. Have you thought about a yellow sapphire engagement ring? That's something like that would be a little bit different, and sapphires come in different colours, but not many people would have a yellow sapphire one, which would look lovely teamed with a platinum band. So think about coloured stones, different colours from white, red, green and blue. And talking of that, here we have the blue one. This is the classic. This is the classic 3-stone sapphire trilogy ring. Beautiful sapphire, a diamond on either side. My mother had one of those. That is probably the most popular. But there's so many different styles to choose from. You can go for so many different things and have old ones of those, beautiful 1920s ones, Edwardian ones, or a different stone completely. Stand out from the crowd with a turquoise. A turquoise engagement ring, nice and brightly coloured, lots of colour, really vibrant. This is a nice old one, this particular example, but there are many different ones to choose from. Art Deco. Now, the famous Art Deco. This has become a buzzword that the whole of the internet seems to apply to anything after 1910 and before 1950. It is a style. It is a geometric style. Look at this ring. It is a geometric style. Sapphire and diamond. Art Deco is very popular. 1920s. We've sold several of those. Rubies. A small ruby cluster or a larger ruby cluster. Ruby with diamonds round it, very classic, very classic. Pretty ring, that's a very popular style, a sort of halo ring. Something completely different, no one else will have one of these. This is a chrysoberyl cat's eye. That's one of the more unusual stones, and it's been enhanced by all the lovely diamonds round it. You could try something like that for your engagement. Your friends aren't going to have one of those. All your friends popping down to the high street and buying an ordinary ring, they're not going to have one of those. See what else we can come up with. Classic cluster. This one is French. The French were very good at that sort of thing. Classic cluster in platinum, flat. 1930s to 50s rings were sitting nice and flat on the finger. This one is a good example of that sort of style. But there are so many to choose from, so many different designs. Sapphire, asymmetric, yellow diamond. I was talking about coloured diamonds. Why not have a yellow diamond engagement ring? Look at that. Art Nouveau. It's on the cusp of Nouveau to Deco. It's got the swirls of Nouveau, so it's late, really into around 1920. Why not have one of those? Who's going to have one like that? Answer, nobody. It will be yours. You will be individual. More clusters? Well, have you thought about opal? I know a lot of people are put off by opals, but it's only because they're slightly softer than other stones. But look at that, a black opal engagement ring. How about that for choice? Nice vintage ring. And so we can go on and show you different designs. A 1930s beautiful cluster. These are still made now, but this one is 1930s. This has meal graining in it. really unusual, sits flat on the finger again. And I could go on and talk about more and more styles, more and more different types of rings, but there was one I wanted to show you before I finish, and that's the Tsavorite garnet. If I can find that, the Tsavorite being the rarest of the garnets, the most beautiful, here it is, a green garnet, the rarest of the garnets, but in a classic engagement ring. Look at that colour. It's a lime, bright green. It's not an emerald green. As one customer once said to me, yes, but it's not an emerald. And I said, no, you're right, it's not an emerald. And he said, but it's not an emerald. And his wife said, I would love it. And he said, but it's not an emerald. Answer, no, it isn't. It's a Tsavorite garnet. So why not have one of those? Please enjoy Showcase. We're all looking forward to seeing you.